Hey everybody. Sorry about that. My mic wasn't working. Um, I hope y'all are doing well. I have a couple of quick updates before we start the stream. First of all, thank y'all for being here. I know it's been quite a while since my last Pokemon stream. It's been about 6 days or so. Specifically because I've been really busy, which I'll probably get into in some details a bit later. Thank you, random guy on a motorcycle making a lot of noise. But, hmm. Streamlabs is being really weird. Last time I tried to stream, I physically couldn't because Streamlabs wasn't working. Now it seems that some Streamlabs widgets aren't working. I tried testing some of them. I'll try testing one more just to make sure. Okay, so I guess the main Twitch things are working. Mainly the thing that wasn't working when I tested it, because I tried to test, all my widgets, the Ko-Fi one wasn't. So I want to go ahead and preface this with, if you do want to donate or anything, I very much appreciate that. However, I might not see that during the stream. So if that's something that matters to you, then I would not risk it. Obviously, I'll thank you whenever I can. I can't make any promises though, because again, Ko-Fi is being really weird and does not seem to be working. Outside of that though, the main thing's working. That's what matters, so I'm gonna go ahead and unpause this and we'll get started. That'd be me. Also, how's the audio mixing? I'm hoping that's going alright. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with some streaming here. Or streaming. Fuck. Grinding. Sorry, I am so out of it today. I have had quite the morning. And by the morning, I mean evening. It feels great to be back to Pokemon again, though. It really does. Oh yeah, quick fun story for y'all, real quick. Wait. You know what? I probably shouldn't tell that one. Sorry, I just had a thought. And then I realized that it might be a little personal, so I'm probably not gonna go into it. Sorry. Fuck, why am I so off tonight? It'll be alright. Just kinda gotta get back into it. I spent the last 2 days at Lily's house, which was nice. Trying to think of anything worth noting that happened in that time frame. Well, one thing that I feel is very important. I've been watching Avatar for the first time with Lily, as I've mentioned before on stream, and we just finished book 2. I didn't think book 2 could be better than book 1, but I really fucking enjoy Avatar: The Last Airbender so far. It's wildly good, and I'm very impressed with it. Again, it was one of those shows I had heard so much praise for, but never really got why, because it's something that was weirdly left out of conversations. It was always one of those things that it kind of seemed that people were very into pushing, but never really gave any reasons for, so I just kind of put it on my backlog and never really got to it. But after actually sitting down to watch it with Lily, I completely understand. So was this reporter person always here? Because I don't seem to remember that. Okay. Holy fuck. That's really weird and really cool. Reporter Kinsey. They're really cute. They also have a Shinx. Alright, let's see, what is our best option here? Suppose you can't go wrong with this. Trying to think of anything of interest that I've been up to recently, because I've had a very eventful day, but not in like a particularly good way. It's just been kind of chaotic. So again, I'm not super sure how worth it is to get into. Oh yeah, I am almost able to stream console games, so that's good. I've got a couple more steps I need to take before everything's fully and completely set up, but I have most of the equipment I need to capture gameplay footage from my Switch, so potentially after Pokémon Platinum, I might take a break with a platformer or something I have on Switch, who knows. But you know, definitely stay tuned for that if that's something that sounds interesting to you. Oh, already? Hell yeah. I had no idea what level Caroline would evolve. Hell yeah. Wow, that's a lot quicker than I thought it would be. Very efficient. Hey, now that we just fought in this hospital, can you heal the Pokemon that just fought? Thank you, Nurse Joy. I greatly appreciate you. Schmoovin'. God, the Sinnoh games are real nice to just kind of vibe to and turn the brain off for a bit. I don't know why, again, I've just been really anxious today, and I don't know, I feel like my commentary is unfortunately suffering due to that. So I kind of forgot that we even caught this Rapidash last stream and named it Yusei Fudo, but I'm kind of down for this. Give me just a second to check something stream related, just to make sure everything's working. Okay, it should be. I've got no reason to be nervous. I don't think anybody's actively watching right now, which I'm weirdly kind of gratuitous for. I don't know, that beginning streamer vibe's quite nice, as somebody's mentioned before in chat. I don't remember who, but it gives me time to kind of get my brain off of those nerves and get back into the headspace for streaming. So weirdly, some of the quiet times are also really good. I guess that's probably something that's largely dependent on who you ask, but for me at least I quite like when times are a bit more chill. I don't actually know how long I want to go today. I just really want to beat that ghost gym. Like, I've made it a point, that's what I want to do. How much work that's gonna take, I'm not super certain. Because I'm very much down to, you know, play some Pokemon right now, which is why I announced the stream. But also, in terms of social interaction, I wish I would have gauged or paced myself a bit better. Because I'm so burnt out. And it's really not healthy to be streaming when you're already, you know, low on social energy, I feel. So weirdly, what I'm doing right now I can't fully recommend to anyone. Or recommend at all, but, you know. Hopefully things will turn around for me. So much has happened in the last 6 days since I last streamed, I feel. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like I just need a fucking break for today. And I don't know why I forced this upon myself. Oh, I do. I know that I wanted to get a new stream out because it had been like 6 days since my last episode of Pokemon Platinum. But I don't think anybody would have minded if I would have taken another day. So I don't know. If anybody out there is listening to this currently, just know, if there's any kind of creative project where you're feeling a little burnout and that you need a break, and you're still kind of pushing yourself regardless, it's typically a good idea to take that break if you can afford to do so. You'll feel so much better when you get back to it. I know I'm a hypocrite for saying that. I really do. But if somebody needs to hear that, I'd, you know, be pretty honored to be the person to say it. I feel like Layla's still the one that needs the most XP here, specifically because of her knowing the move bite. Yeah, everything about today was telling me not to stream in retrospect. Because, again, I'm not feeling that great. I have a mild headache, and... excuse me. Social spoons are just fucking empty. And Streamlabs itself is not behaving on my end. I'm hoping that's not a universal issue and it's just something going on with me. But, goddamn, is it not doing what it's supposed to? You know what? I think I will tell a story. I'm not gonna go into specifics as to where this is, but I will mention something. Again, as I've mentioned, I've spent the last 2 nights at my girlfriend Lily's place, which has been wonderful. It was very good for me to be able to just sit down with her and enjoy some time together. Not that we don't do that pretty often, rather that be through in-person or through Discord calls, but I don't know. You wouldn't believe how much I miss her sometimes when we're not hanging out actively. So, we're just kind of hanging out, and we realize that, because I personally can't drive, she's a sweetheart, she It drives me... Well, she drives to my place to pick me up and then back to her place and then drops me off. This last time it ended up raining and storming real bad, so I had to stay another night, which, you know, in itself is not a negative thing. I absolutely love hanging out with Louie and stuff, and I would never be complaining for an extra night. But because of this and the fact that she had work so early in the morning, I had to go with her to work. And I spent 4 hours at her workplace, and my social anxiety just really fucked up. And it sucks because, like, she was already in the middle of working, and, you know, that's already inherently annoying enough to her, I'm certain. But I know it probably didn't help knowing that her girlfriend was all anxious and shit in the break room. And it got to the point where when she came back to grab some water from her lunchbox, which she left in the break room with me, I was like, hey, is there a chance I could go back to the car and hang out there? So I did that. And if you're wondering why my, like, vibes are so off tonight, well, here you go. Somebody in the parking lot of the place that she works at was threatening to pull a gun on another customer because of a disagreement. And this was all happening maybe 16 feet away from me. And that was not fucking great. I'll say that. Needless to say, I felt very drained almost immediately. Excuse me, well, not drained. Well, I was scared in that moment. And after that point, once my nerves had settled down, I just felt exhausted. And then I kind of sat in a hot car for a while, which was my choice. I didn't have to do that, but I sure did. So, couple all those things together, and you have yourself a Layla who has not had a particularly nice evening. So, in retrospect, a lot's happened today, and that's just covering some of the basics. And I can't believe I'm still streaming. I don't know why I did this. It'll be alright though, I'm not having a bad time. I was gonna say for some reason Bidoof's design reminds me of a lot of the animals in Avatar, but that's not super true. Because a lot of the animals in Avatar are just fusions of actual real-world monsters. Which, god, I love that design detail, by the way. It's super fucking interesting. Everything about The Last Airbender has been so good so far, and it's been great experiencing that with Lily. But I will go ahead and preface this stream officially and be like, hey, gonna be real. A lot's happened just today, and it's been 6 days, and without going into too many details, a lot has happened in my life in the last 6 days. I'm fucking tired. I admit that I shouldn't have streamed today, but I'm doing it, and this stream isn't gonna be as long as normal. I gotta stop apologizing so much though. Like, okay, I get it. That's worth mentioning and noting, but I've said that like 3 or 4 times already. I've only been streaming for like, presumably not even half an hour? Yeah, no, it's only 5:20. I've only been streaming for about 20 minutes officially. I gotta chill the fuck out. I'm sorry, y'all. Nerves are so bad. By the way, speaking of like positive things or trying to get my mind onto positive things, some of y'all have been so sweet lately and just I don't know, I wanted to say thank y'all for that. Like, you know, I've gotten just a lot more support than I feel I would have ever expected my content to get, I'll say. It's been very pleasant. It's been quite a nice surprise, and I'm very, very thankful for that. It really is such a dream to be able to stream, and I recognize and acknowledge how lucky I am to be able to do that. And I want to make it very clear that I, you know, want to make sure that it's known, but I'm thankful for that. I never want to take that for granted. Like, the fact that I can just sit here and play a Pokemon game and people come to check it out is fucking wild. Just the idea of talking over a video game in itself is inherently really enjoyable. I hope that one day somebody might end up stumbling across my content and decide that, you know, maybe in their free time they want to try a new hobby. Maybe not even necessarily streaming, just something that satisfies them creatively. Because I feel there's a point in almost everybody's lives where they get to a point where they're just not super satisfied creatively, and they can't put their finger on it, but they don't feel super happy. And, I don't know, the idea that just by making dumb little internet content like this, and that somebody out there is using their free time to listen to it, and the fact that that could somehow motivate and help other people is... I don't even know what term to use there. I mean, it's great. Like, it's a positive thing. But that's just kind of hard to wrap my brain around. I don't know. And I gotta say, the Pokemon / like Pokemon Twitch side of the community has been so sweet to me so far, in terms of, like, you know, people dropping by and just rating my streams and stuff and being sweet and saying hey, to just somehow bearing with me in times like this where I'm just doing a lot of grinding. I feel like maybe sometimes I'm a bit too hard on myself in terms of the quality of my content. Like, I have a certain level of, like, what I expect of myself, and I don't even know where that line is drawn. I just feel the need to consistently make that, and I don't know why, and I know that's not fair to myself. Because streaming is something that's, you know, supposed to be inherently enjoyed. And not that I don't enjoy it, but I feel like days like today where my social anxiety is a bit worse than normal, I kind of feel like I owe it to an audience to create content that's quote-unquote up to par, which is such fucking bullshit, and I know that, and I get that, and it's something that I'm working on. But just want to say, you know, thank you for bearing with me in that time. If I could stop yawning every 2 seconds and getting emotional every 5, that'd be great. I think after I get Layla to 27, I'll try the gym again. I don't feel like it'll work yet, but like I really want to try to get some new content in here, because I know this has got to be grating to watch. Weirdly, while I'm streaming this, I'm kind of thinking about other things I want to do after the series. Not that I'm not having fun with Pokemon Platinum, I I don't know, I feel like there's so many things I could do. And, you know, being a variety streamer, I have the opportunity to do that. And that's kind of exciting. I'm definitely one of those people that do that a lot in terms of just in life in general, not even like Twitch content or anything in particular. Just, I frequently think about the what ifs of if I chose another option. Because, you know, life is a series of choices. And, sometimes I can't help but wonder, what would happen if I made some other choices, even in, like, super fucking small things, because of how they relate to others. Like, the people I've, like, met in terms of, like, followers and stuff on stream are completely different in the Pokemon community than it would be if I streamed something like, I don't know, just for the sake of an example, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Like, those demographics are different. I don't think it would change anything in my life super drastically by any means. But just the weird little things like that, you know? There's so many little details that are just kind of nice to ponder on. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of just thinking about stuff in general. I'm sorry, I'm such a rambly mess. On the bright side, me too is level 27, so we're gonna go ahead and take on that next gym now, I think. Or, you know, we'll try to. The DS Pokemon games really are something special though, huh? I don't want to beat that too much into the ground, but I don't know. The Pokemon series is something that I've unfortunately failed to really fall in love with again to the extent that I had that, like, wonder of and love for that I did as a kid. Like, I was really into Pokemon when I was younger, and then when I kind of fell out of it, I fell out of it pretty hard, and I never really went back. I tried. It was not for a lack of trying that I couldn't get back into Pokemon, but something wasn't clicking. And I'm kind of glad that, you know, I'm here now and experiencing this and having a good time with it. Oh, I have, like, no money. That is bad. Guess that's what happens when you lose to a gym leader a bunch of times, though. I wonder if that's how the gyms are funded. Just with all the money that they're taking from trainers who are just tired of grinding. Just trying to cheese it and failing terribly. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Where is the gym again? Oh, duh, it's right here. So many of the buildings in Pokemon games that are important look uniform. I don't know how I could possibly get it that confused. And I've just kind of had a day. Hello, Neo CC Rega. And here we go. I really do like her, don't get me wrong. I've lost to Fantina so many fucking times at this point. But her design's great, I really do like her. Most of the Pokemon character designs I feel are really neat. Even consistently now, with some of the more recent games I haven't personally enjoyed a whole lot, like Sword and Shield. Did not like Sword and Shield at all. Some of the character designs though, kinda rad. Ooh, That went... I shouldn't say that went well, because things will immediately go sour. Alright, here we go. Or ace in the sleeve, as somebody called it in chat, I believe. Come on, Layla, you got this. Hell yeah. God, I feel like I've been inflicted with Confuse recently. I wish that didn't do as much damage as it actually does do. Oh, no, please, please, please. Okay, we're fine. I'll switch out to Yusei for a clean switch. Because I feel Leo can definitely help pull some weight here. Give that to Layla. Cool. God, this is such a powerful Pokemon. And the fact that we have another Pokemon after this one we have to take out? Oh god. I think I'm gonna go for one more double team and then just go for as many attacks as I can. Oh, come on. Come on, Leo. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use a Super Potion on him, just to keep him in the fray. Unrelated, but the Super Potion like sound effect is so satisfying. The sound design in Pokemon games in general are pretty good. Gen 1 not so much, I understand they were very limited, but god, that Leer sound effect. I know I've mentioned it before. Ooh, that sure was something. Come on, please tank this. It is so important that you do. No, Leo. Alright. Well. See how this goes. Confuse Ray is just such an annoying move to have on top of everything else this Pokemon throws at you. Oh, please don't kill. Oh, okay. Don't. God damn it. You're kidding me with this Confuse Ray. This is not gonna be the one, huh? Yep. This Pokemon just kind of has an answer for everything, and it's kind of terrifying. I wonder how much people, like, typically struggle with this gym. Like, if it's just me, or if this is genuinely really hard. Yep, that's it. Damn. Well, we'll get her next time. Let me put Leo in front and get him some XP. I feel if we can get him and Layla around level 30, then we should be able to take this gym. I sure hope so, because I don't think I have it in me to do more grinding than that. At least not, you know, for this area. Oh, hey Ren, I hope you're doing well. You didn't miss a whole lot, I promise you that. The beginning of the stream has been very rough on my end. The only thing I really mentioned that I think's worth articulating to people who are just hopping in is that Ko-Fi donations, for some reason, in terms of the plugin, are not working. Like, I don't know, obviously I can still take donations and that works, but currently the notifications on stream for that is not working, so, you know, keep that in mind. That's about it in terms of official updates. Ooh, Magic Leaf, yeah. Magic Leaf is very good. I would know. I've lost to that quite a lot. What does Lucky Chan do? Cool. Yeah, currently I'm just doing a bit more grinding because I just tried the gym leader again and it, spoiler alert, did not go well. Streamlabs has just been giving me so many issues. Oh, nice, that sounds wonderful. Very happy for you. Absolutely schmoovin'. I gotta blame Lily for that one. I've been saying that ever since I started hanging out with her, because she says it all the time. I love her and I don't mind that at all, but man, if there's one bit of dialect recently that I picked up on, it's just whatever you would want to call whatever the kind of languages that Lily and I exchange. That's fair. I'm not super sure either. I know recently they updated. I might try uninstalling the program and reinstalling it and seeing if that helps. I'm just very glad I did test all my widgets and stuff before stream to make sure I knew what was working and what wasn't, so I could at least articulate that. Yeah, another quick update. I have most of what I need to start streaming console games too, which the only platform I own outside of PC is the Switch. But I might potentially start streaming Switch games soon after Platinum, which is nice. Got a couple of like things I gotta work out with that first, but I'm actively working on. But should be good to go decently soon. So after some Pokemon, I might, you know, switch over to some games over there. Got a couple indie titles on it I might like to pick up and, you know, do a series on. So that's cool. That's super fair. I can understand that. Yeah, mainly in terms of my content, I'm just kind of not YouTube. I'm just kind of Twitch and that's it. But yeah, no, that is super respectable, and I get that. It's definitely important too. I touched on that a bit earlier on stream. It's super important to pace yourself in terms of creative endeavors, because burnout is a no use in sugarcoating it. Burnout's a bitch, so something to look out for. For me personally, I've been on this like... Oh yeah, I totally get you. I've been weirdly like very often seesawing between two different things, two vastly different things. That being super exhausted with the creative endeavors I've been following, in terms of just like straight up not having the energy for them despite loving them. And just feeling not super creatively satisfying. Thankfully that hasn't happened too much recently, but man, it's such a weird thing to experience in such a rapid succession. I haven't had that happen for at least a month and a half or so, thankfully, but it is not fun when it does. I will say that. But yeah, I'm really glad that you're enjoying creating videos and stuff. I know I've said it before last stream, but Rosalia really does have a very good design. I quite like her. Oh, speaking of games and things and that sort, I am so weirdly excited about Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, I fucking love the Monster Hunter games, and I don't think that's a surprise to anybody who knows me, because I've really been following them since I think 4 Ultimate was my first one. And I don't know. I've been following Rise and looking forward to it, but with all the rumors before it coming out about there being a PC release, I was like, yeah, I'll probably wait for that. Even if it is, like, you know, gonna be a year's timed exclusive on Switch. And then I played the demo with 3 of my friends recently, and that reawakened rather my love for Monster Hunter, because I had always played it with either by myself or with one specific friend. But now that I've played it with like 3, holy shit, I really want to pick up Monster Hunter Rise and do not have the budget to do that right now. But yeah, I'm probably going to go for the Switch version because, wow, I'm a sucker for a good co-op game, and Monster Hunter Rise kind of takes the best of both worlds in terms of the older Monster Hunter formula and newer Monster Hunter gameplay. And it really does cultivate into this really interesting experience, so I hope anybody checking out Monster Hunter Rise either today or in the future is having a good time with it. It looks great. I can't wait to check it out. I don't know when I'll actually get to that, but one day. And hey, maybe I'll be able to stream that soon. That is super, super fair. I totally get that. I can definitely see that Monster Hunter, it's not a series that's for everyone, and that is very valid. I didn't think it would be a series for me. I can't even fully articulate what it is I like about it. I think it may mainly be, again, the co-op aspects and the world building. Outside of that, I don't know. It's weird, I feel like most of the time I can go on forever about what it is I like about a game or a game series. Weirdly not so with Monster Hunter, it's just kind of one of those things that's up in the air. I definitely feel like, at least in my experience with it, and I know this isn't true for everyone because, you know, there are people that play it solo, it's mainly a make-or-break experience with the people you play it with. Oh, I totally get you. Yeah, it's weird. I have a lot of fun with Monster Hunter. I'm not good at it. Monster Hunter is definitely on the same vein of rhythm games for me in terms of not being good at them but fucking loving them. Speaking of, I know I'm quite late to comment on this, but I didn't really realize just how big it was getting, so I figure now might be a good time to talk about it. Friday Night Funkin' has blown the fuck up recently, and I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. Mainly because it's inspired by Parappa the Rappa on PS1, and I fucking love that game. Friday Night Funkin' was a game I played around its release on itch.io, and was just kind of like, yeah, okay, this is a game that came out and it seems, you know, cool enough. I've never really thought about it again, but some of my friends have been getting super into it, and it's just nice to see so many people getting into a, at least on paper, really simple and easy to understand rhythm game. I don't know, with each console generation that comes out, I feel like people turn their nose to a lot of simpler or more quote-unquote traditional forms of gameplay. And it's kind of nice to see it coexisting with a lot of new things happening in the gaming space right now. Yeah, Parappa's really difficult. Again, I don't even know in terms of how difficult it is in relativity to other rhythm games because I'm bad at every rhythm game I've ever played. But man, Parappa is not easy, at least to me. So I definitely get you there. I really want to get back into Rhythm Heaven. It was a game I played for a while, specifically, what was the one on 3DS I had? I think it was Mega Mix? I played that one for a while and quite enjoyed it. Ooh, Space Channel 5, that's one I've actually never played, surprisingly, despite loving most Sega titles. I've definitely looked at it and thought, yeah, maybe I'll add it, and then I just never felt like spending the $1.19 it typically averages at on Steam. I might pick it up and play it at some point. Out of the very little I've seen of Space Channel 5, it weirdly reminds me of Katamari of all things. Guitaru, man. Give me just a moment to look that up. I feel like I've definitely heard of it. Yeah! Yeah, I've definitely heard of this. I haven't seen much gameplay of it, but I have seen some fan art of it over on Twitter. It looks rad. It's one of those titles I keep looking at and think like, yeah, I want to check this out, and I completely fucking forget about it, and I feel awful about it, but it's just never on the forefront of my mind. Hell yeah. Yeah, well, thank you for the recommendation. I'll definitely have to check that out at some point. Hopefully having it mentioned on stream will, you know, help me not forget it as often, because, man, it genuinely does look great, and I don't mean to put it by the wayside for as often as I do. It's like one of those things I see every, like, 7 or 8 months or so, and I'm like, yeah, I'll check that out, and then never get around to. I gotta break that cycle, though. Man, I don't even mean to play as many retro games as I do. I love games in general, but so many good games seem to be around that PS2 and GameCube era. And I'd say that's just my nostalgia talking because, you know, I definitely was in the ripe age of, you know, growing up with it, but I don't even know what it is because I played so many retro games for the first time from that generation that I just fucking love to pieces. And that's not to say anything bad about modern games, but I've definitely had quite a few retro titles I picked up for the first time and started really enjoying. I don't know if this one in particular counts. You know what, I feel like the DS counts as retro at this point. Not like to the extent as some other things do, but, you know, it's 2 console generations behind. I don't like using the term behind. It makes it, you know, feel like it's dated and therefore not enjoyable. I just mean, you know, there's been 2 console generations that's come out since then. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's super fair. I feel like that's one thing that I really do like about the GameCube era, is like how fucking weird they were willing to get with some of their releases. Like, I don't know, there's so many things back then that I feel like they would never try again now. Like, you know, for example, one of my favorite games, Sonic Riders, it's such a weird concept, and it's not something I think that Sega will ever go back to, unfortunately, but god, I fucking love that game. Yeah, it's nice to see though that with the like the early 2010s or so, with the classic game boom that happened around that time, where interest in it was just suddenly reborn, it really did stick around and it has not left. People who like games for the most part are willing to give retro games a shot, and I think that's pretty cool. It makes me hope that one day, some way and somehow, Klonoa will get a little more recognition than he currently does, because god, Door to Phantomile was such a good game, and I'm so bummed about the PS3 store being taken down soon, because it's the last way you can like officially play Door to Phantomile without the physical copy, which is really hard to come by now, and very expensive because of that fact. I don't know. I just find it weird that most of retro games are kind of like backboned and spearheaded and protected by pirates. Not saying that is a bad thing, by the way, just articulating that's just how it goes. Typically, pirating retro games is like one of the only ways to consistently preserve it in this medium. And I think that's a really interesting topic point I don't feel is mentioned as much as it should be. Had a ROM of Klonoa for a while now. Chaser Face. Chase Face, I think I've heard of them. I'm not going to say for certain that I have, but they definitely sound familiar. But yeah, if you're interested in it, I definitely recommend going for it. I personally streamed Door to Phantom Isle. It was one of my first stream series here, and it was great. I mean, that was not my first time playing it, but it weirdly just helped create even more great memories with it. Door to Phantom Isle is such a lovely little game. It definitely pushes some boundaries in terms of what platformers can do in terms of storytelling. And if you really do like story-driven games, I think you'll enjoy Klonoa, how it kind of weaves a lot of its story into levels. It's kind of great. And again, you know, I'm very biased towards that game. It's one of those I'm gonna be, you know, singing about on the hilltops until I die. Hilltops, god, sorry, I cannot speak tonight apparently. Fuck. To this day, I still don't know how my feelings on Klonoa differ from most of the fan base because it's such a small fan base, it's so scattered. But I really don't like the Wii version at all. Like, I feel like the PS1 original is so much better. Oh yeah, yeah. God. Klonoa's soundtrack wasn't particularly a super memorable part of it for me for the most part. There were definitely like 2 or 3 tracks in it though that like I found myself humming for days on end. And I feel like those 2 or 3 tracks weirdly carry the weight of the whole soundtrack. I don't think there's any songs in the soundtrack that are inherently bad. I just don't feel that Klonoa's soundtrack hit me quite as hard as something like, say, a Sonic game would. I shouldn't say that, specifically because I know Klonoa's already compared to Sonic a lot for some reason, just because of, I guess, the similarities in how the eyes are drawn. You know, I didn't think I would take most of this stream to talk about, Klonoa Door to Phantom Isle once again. But I'm down for that. I feel like at this rate that's gonna happen at least once in every single stream series I do. Oh, no way, cool. I might check that out, honestly. It sounds rad. You're right. I've thought about getting a new avatar. I don't know what exactly I would want to do. I know I definitely want to commission somebody to do one for me, but here's the thing. I'm the kind of person that doesn't commission people unless I know I can tip, because, like, I like supporting independent artists and stuff. As somebody that makes content online, I feel like a lot of people are underappreciated in the fields that they go in. And if I'm satisfied with something, and somebody took the time to draw something for me, I feel, even if it was a business exchange, it's the least I could do to, you know, support them more than what they ask for. Because so many artists and so many different ways sell themselves short, and I don't think that's fair. So I don't personally tend to commission unless I have money to tip, which, you know, with my current financial situation, I certainly don't. So I haven't gotten around to it yet. But at some point, I'd definitely love to get a new Twitch avatar. Not that Klonoa isn't serviceable, it's just, you know, a swirly Klonoa on a pink background that you can't even really see in the profile picture. I think it's about due for an upgrade. I kind of used it as a placeholder and just kind of never really changed it. Yeah, I see a lot of that, or on the other side of that, or I guess the same side of that really, I see a lot of people also say things like, oh, well, you know, this artist charges too much, and I'm like, well, there's other artists out there. If you don't feel like it's worth that, you know, don't argue with them, just go find somebody else. I don't know. It's so weird. People are really shitty to each other sometimes, and I don't get it. I really don't. Yeah, no, I don't even see that as a particularly positive trait that I possess. It's just, I kind of assumed it was common sense to treat artists with respect because they're human beings who, you know, I don't know. I think it's very impressive when people are able to turn their hobbies into something they can do as a career. And I don't think it's ever, nobody sits down and makes art and is like, yeah, no, this is what I want to do as a business and that's it. I feel like the only people that, like, draw for a living, for the most part, typically really love what they do. And, you know, I really do believe the world would be a better place if more people were able to do what they want to do, rather than what they have to get by. That could just be my 12-hour warehouse shifts talking, but, Yeah, there are people that think that way. Thankfully, it does feel like I see less of that now than I did a couple years ago, so it seems to be getting a little bit better, I hope. I don't know, this is coming from an outside perspective, I don't really draw. Like, it's still certainly an issue, but not to the degree it was, which is, you know, at least somewhat of a positive. You know, as much as I've listened to this battle theme while not playing the game because it's just that good, I still don't know which one I prefer in terms of the Gen 3 or Gen 4 wild battle music. I love both of them. And I've just been trying to toss it up in my head which one I prefer, and I've yet to figure that out. It's weird, like some of the things I thought Gen 3 did the best out of any of the Pokemon games, at least in terms of the ones I had experience with, Gen 4 has weirdly done a little bit better, which is really impressive and not at all me down-talking Gen 3. I really do love the Hoenn games, but man, Sinnoh really is something special. So very glad that I decided to start the series and check it out. There's still definitely been some traces of annoyances that I've had with Pokemon games in general. Again, mainly the grinding here just is so tedious. And again, it's made a lot better through streaming, but it's still there. That is one thing I gotta give the newer Pokemon games. Some people complain about them not being as, like, grind heavy, and, like, I don't see that as being a problem at all, I'm gonna be real. I get some people prefer having more of a grind because it, you know, lengthens the game. But if the only way a game lengthens its runtime is by having you beat up a bunch of the same enemies for a long time before you can stand a chance, I don't really know what the extra runtime feels like anything other than padding. Again, I don't know. It could just be that I'm very bad at Pokemon games, and the newer games are better at counteracting that. It's weird because I say that, and I mean that in terms of, like, I think that it's cool that a lot of newer Pokemon games don't require as much grinding. But then I'm also really nostalgic for the long routes in Gen 1 and 2. Now, the long caves, not so much. But, like, I just loved how every route felt like an adventure in Gen 1 and 2. There's so many different qualities of all the different generations of Pokemon games that I feel like make them all stand out in their own unique way.
I'm pretty sure Sword and Shield doesn't have any standards.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. That was a housemate passing through. Really what they're saying is that the new games are too easy. Grinding is eliminated with all these new features, but it's too much and eliminates any slivered... That's fair too. And that's very valid. I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't bother me as much as I think it does bother some people. Not that it isn't, you know, a valid complaint or criticism to have. Let's see. Yeah, another potentially positive thing. I think I might be closer to having a job soon, which is nice, because I need money, because bills don't stop. But I got an offer on Indeed recently that was like, hey, you know, you're still looking for work, and your resume seems like a good fit for this job, and it didn't seem super shitty. It's like a saleswoman kind of job, which, like, isn't ideal for me, but it's like, it's part-time hours, and, like, honestly, I'm fine with part-time or full-time, but, like, it's part-time that pays full-time hours, if that makes sense, so I'm kind of looking at it for that. So who knows? Maybe that's something that'll change soon. I know it's completely out of the blue and very unrelated. I was just trying to find something to talk about. Yeah, and I definitely agree. It's a lot better than nothing. I've had a couple of leads recently. I've had both a Hot Topic and a GameStop nearby call me back and talk about how they're kind of interested in me. I actually have an interview for the Hot Topic decently soon, so I'm hoping that goes well. I just need to be employed somewhere soon, because for some reason I've yet to get either my tax return or either of the 2 stimulus checks, because I didn't get the first one despite being eligible for it. And when I did the tax refund thing, they were just kind of, or when I was doing my taxes this year, they were like, oh fuck, you kind of need that, huh? So, you know, the already very tiny stimulus checks they've been giving out weren't even coming to me, which is not great. And it's the 26th, so rent is about to be due. And I have money to cover this month's rent, but not next month's. So hopefully something happens soon, because I'm kind of panicking internally a little bit. So, you know, who knows? fucking things are weird right now. Just in general, not even just because of the pandemic. I mean, obviously that too. Layla acquired insomnia. Damn. Mood. God, this game's so pretty. I really do like these like sunset hours where it's not quite nighttime yet. It's so nice. And the little subtle music changes from day and night are really nice too. Some tracks are definitely more subtle than others. Yeah, no, I don't get that either. Thankfully, my situation's a lot better than I think most people's are, unfortunately. In terms of the people who I moved in with. I'll just say, without going into detail, I was not in a good spot. And I did not have anything to offer them when I moved in, and they were, you know, thankfully kind enough to be okay with that and help support me and stay on my feet while I was looking for work. And my rent is not super expensive. It's not. And I don't think they would ever kick me out for not paying rent. But the thing about it is, morally, personally, I would feel like shit if I wasn't chipping in. I really would. I know they don't care that much and they've articulated that, but I would feel like shit, just in general. So I try to do what I can. Plus it just kind of feels nice to know when I'm helping out a bit in terms of finances. Like, typically I really don't care about money at all, but, you know, knowing that I'm able to help the people that help me, it does make me feel a little better. Yeah, that certainly is an issue, just thankfully not one I've had a lot of experience with yet. Yeah, no, I should probably mention that, because I know I just mentioned that, you know, I don't have money for next month's rent. That does not mean I'm in any kind of necessarily financial danger. It feels nice to be able to at least pay my phone bill and, you know, help chip in with other bills around the house every month. That's all I really mean. God, sorry for, like, the random amounts of dead air here. Again, I touched on it earlier. I don't think all of you were here for that, but long story short, I've had a long day. My social anxiety's been really bad today, like worse than normal, and my commentary is not up to par in terms of what it normally is, and I get that, but I'm just trying to kind of take it easy tonight. I will say, after I wrap up tonight's stream, I think I'm gonna get some good-ass sleep. I'm so tired. Not that I'm not actively enjoying streaming, I just, well, it's gonna feel nice to just be horizontal for a little bit. Without context, it was a bit of a funny thing that happened in between Lily and I yesterday. Or maybe it was this morning, I can't recall. Yeah, I think it was this morning. But we were laying together in her bed, and she was rubbing my back, and there was like a specific point where I was like really knotted up and tense. Because I do this thing where my shoulders tense up around my neck whenever I'm nervous, and because I'm almost always to some extent of anxious. It's not it's not great, I'll say. But she kind of noticed that and was like running her palm across like a part of my back that was particularly tense. And I said something along the lines of like, yeah, that does not feel good. And she's like, yeah, I don't doubt that. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's not, you know, it's strange. And she basically described it as like what felt like a pebble under my like muscles. And I was like, that's not good. And the worst part is it goes like decently up my back. And I'm like, that's concerning because it kind of feels like not just a pebble, but an entire chicken tender. I don't know why my brain went to that, of all things. But I do think it's kind of funny. Also, Layla learned swagger. I thought that was just kind of a good line. That's way too much of a gamble for me to, I think I'll ever use, but I will replace Roar with it just in case I ever get desperate enough. Also, thank you for the comment about, you know, not feeling too pressured or anything. I do appreciate that. Oh, fuck, there's a trainer here I haven't battled. Hello. Yeah. No, this works. Aroma Lady, Hannah. Sorry, I saw a sprite work of a cute girl and my brain turned off. That's just how it be sometimes. Let's see. I remember Calm Mind being good, I think. I just don't remember exactly what it does. Okay. Probably put that over Teleport. Aw, Combi's cry is so cute. Fuck, again, design-wise, Pokemon's on point. That's one thing I don't feel like has gotten anywhere as this time's went on with Pokemon. I genuinely feel like a lot of the new designs are just as good as some of the older ones. And I know some people definitely disagree with that, and that's super valid, but I don't know, I feel like a lot of them still work really well together and they feel very natural. What's your favorite Pokemon, design-wise or just in general? I'm gonna give you a lot of answers, and a lot of them are very basic, because it's very hard for me to choose a specific one. But I have a couple that I like a lot. The ones that come to mind the most are Sylveon and Gardevoir design-wise. I just think they're very cute. I like them. I think they're neat. Vaporeon's definitely up there too. I think Vaporeon's very good. Outside of that, one that I loved a lot as a kid, and I don't like as much now, but I still really do enjoy, is Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff, I don't know why I was so fucking... just... I don't know. I loved Jigglypuff as a kid. Something about, like, the way she was used as, like, a comic relief character in the anime, I just kind of loved. Like, I mained her in Smash Brawl specifically because of the anime. But, yeah, outside of those, I think that's it. Another design I quite like, but I don't remember the specific name of, embarrassingly. I really like, I think it's Litwick. It's like a candle. I think that one's very cute too. I have a soft spot for cute Pokemon, just in general. And, you know, to round off my favorites, I'd say Mewtwo's definitely up there because of the the first movie. Oh, the first movie's so good. I get the urge to rewatch it at least once a month. It's so good. And I cry every single time I watch it. I don't know why I watch it as much as I do. Or at least actually have the urge to. I don't always watch it when I do feel like it, but damn. Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, no, I fucking love Pokemon the first movie. Not the remake that recently came out on Netflix, I mean like the original. It is so goddamn good. And the hand-drawn art style is gorgeous. It's just so good. I could ramble all day about that. I'll spare you. But, yeah, I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like, oh, I can't believe you haven't checked it out yet. You gotta, you know, to do what you want to do. But if there's any of y'all listening to this that haven't checked out Pokemon the first movie that's even considered it, just know it has my recommendation. Dreamy Traveller's seal of approval. Mewtwo good. Mewtwo good. I just want that on my gravestone. Mewtwo do be kinda good. There's a specific scene in that movie I won't spoil, but it hits a little hard. There's a quote in that movie that hits a little harder every single time I watch it, and I think a lot of people who have seen it probably know exactly what scene I'm talking about, but holy fuck. There's a line out there about how people treat each other in general that just still gets me. It still does. It brings me to tears every time. And it comes from fucking Meowth out of anyone. I think that was another thing that was really motivating to me as an individual as when I found out about it. Because I didn't know about it when I was younger. I didn't know about it until, I guess, 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah, that too. That's from Pokemon the first movie. But, Meowth's original voice actress was a, trans girl. And she was lovely. That was not the only role she did. She played a couple of other roles in some other shows and films, but, for a lot of people, Meowth was the first trans person they ever heard speak. And I think that's kind of fucking cool. I don't know, there's not a lot of any point there. It's just, you know, as a trans woman, that's kind of, you know, motivating. Yep, the, iconic Meowth voice that everybody kind of knows Meowth for here in the West was coined by her. I feel so bad because I don't remember her name. What was her name? Let me look it up real fast. Maddie Blaustein, that was her name. She unfortunately passed a couple years ago, but she was, from what I gather, a very sweet lady who unfortunately was not always treated super well, but she was such a brave woman, and I don't know, I just think that's a very cool part of history that's weirdly overlooked in terms of animation. I just think it's very impressive that despite the hardships that she faced and the injustices that she faced, she still stayed true to herself. Very, very proud of her for that. Part of me wishes I could shake her hand and tell her that. Sorry, I don't mean to get all sappy and stuff on stream, I just... fuck, I don't know. it was very, very motivating, and I actually learned that news at a point I felt like I needed it, so... I don't actually know how rare that is, but I will say I was definitely one of those kids that got into the Pokemon show before the games. Not even because I necessarily wanted to, I just heard people talking about Pokemon in elementary school, and a lot of them were playing games on the DS and stuff, and I was like, fuck, I gotta check out whatever the hell's going on here. And the only thing I really had access to at that point was the show, so that's just kind of where I fell. No fucking way! Maddie was the president in Shadow the Hedgehog? Sorry, what the fuck? I didn't know that. That's kinda great. Oh my god, no way. Really? And Omega. I fucking love Omega. I did not know that. That's sick. Oh, wonderful. Damn. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Sonic 06. That's fine. I'll take that. How intriguing. Oh yeah, definitely. I like seeing what voice actors and actresses do in terms of overlapping. It's one of the best feelings in the world whenever you're watching a show or playing a game and you recognize somebody's voice and you're like, wait a fucking minute, and you look it up and it is them. It's so great. Hang on, let me look up the name of a person I want to touch on real fast. Ashley Birch. That is a voice actress who has such a distinct way of talking, and she's so fucking talented, and she nails every role she does, and I always pick up on it the moment I hear her. Yep, Chloe in the Horizon Zero Dawn girl. She also plays the main character in a little indie game that came out decently recently, being the Red Lantern, and Enid from OKKO, along with some other roles. Yeah, her voice is super memorable. And her delivery is always great. Love her work. It's weird. Her name is one of those that I recognize instantly whenever other people talk about her, but I completely, like, forget her name when I go to talk about her and always have to look it up. I don't know why I'm so bad with names. That's just a general thing for me. The first 4 or 5 times I'll meet people, I feel like shit because I just remember their face and not their name. No one ever actually cares. But, that's one of those things I get mildly nervous about. Yeah, that's very fair. Let's see. Forever cursed with the knowledge that Matthew Broderick is the voice of adult Simba and Barry's friend in the... Oh my fucking god. You're talking about Adam. Adam was Barry's friend in the Bee Movie. Oh my god. My housemate, Adam, actually watched, the Bee Movie for the first time recently, and I sat down and watched it with him because we were both bored out of our minds and just wanted to watch something dumb. And that movie is so much worse than I remember it being. Not even just quality-wise, I just mean there's so many shitty, terrible jokes and messages sprinkled throughout that movie. It is awful. And I could not believe it. I mean, there were specific moments that were straight up offensive. And I still don't know how to feel about that. It's the Bee Movie. I didn't remember the Bee Movie being that fucked up, but it sure was. Oh. Fun fact again for those of y'all who have not been here before. Cool little fact about me. The first game I ever 100%ed was actually the Bee Movie game on the PlayStation 2. It's not even a joke. I 100%ed that game 2 times as a kid before I 100%ed any other title. And I hate that, and I have to live with that every single day of my life. And now that y'all know that, your perception of me probably just went down by at least 10 points, and that is fine. That is very valid. You are absolutely allowed to dislike me a little bit more, or like me a little bit less for that knowledge. It's not something I'm proud of, I assure you. I played the fuck out of that game, and I don't know why. I don't even remember loving it that much as a kid. It was just kind of there in front of me and had a shit ton of stuff to do, and I was like, well, okay. And just did it. But apparently I liked it to some extent because I played it twice all the way through. And again, I had Bee Movie Pez dispensers. I know that movie is like a meme, but for some reason, like, young me was genuinely super fucking into it. And I will never understand why. It just kinda happened. I'm sorry, Ren. Bee Movie Pest dispensers, yeah. That's a Dreamy Traveller exclusive. You're not gonna get that elsewhere. Whether that's better or for worse, I'll leave that up to creative interpretation. But god, I was definitely the girl that had them. I am terrified to look back at the clips of this stream, because again, that's the only time I ever really look back at my streams, is just to see what people clipped. If there's anything clipped about Bee Movie Pass dispensers, I'm not gonna be mad, and I won't remove them. I will leave them there. That is my sin to bear. But good lord. It was like to the extent that like the people I grew up with offered to like get me like other Pez dispensers to like collect. And I was like, no, no, no. I just want the Pez to refill. I didn't even like Pez. Like the candy was just kind of fine. I just liked the idea of carrying and repping Bee Movie merch, question mark. I have to make sure my question mark's audible there, because I don't fucking understand. I really don't. Sorry, I'm getting myself tickled. This is not a conversation I thought I would have on stream today, or ever. Yeah, there you go. The dark side of my history. Let it be known. As a kid, I was a fucking Bee Movie stan. I was a little monster is what I was. It was a recipe for disaster. It's a miracle I turned out as good as I did. This is very bizarre, yeah. I don't disagree. That's some very cursed Layla lore TM. Fresh out of the oven of guilt and shame. I don't think you understand when I say I played that game a lot. I mean, I played that game so fucking much I broke my PlayStation 2. Like, the disk drive stopped working because of how often I would play long-ass gameplay sections of the B-movie, to the extent that my PlayStation 2 stopped functioning. Like, one year for the holidays, I got a new PlayStation 2. Like a PlayStation 2 Slim model. Because I burn out the old one just from playing just from playing the B-movie game for that fucking long. Like, literally, I would come home from school, do my homework and shit, play the B-movie game. That would be my day. Like, I would stop to eat and shit, and that'd be it. Like, after my chores, after I had my free time, it was fucking game on, dude. I would go to my room and just fucking isolate and play the B-movie game for hours. And I don't know why. It wasn't good, I'm telling you. Even as a kid, I knew it wasn't as good as some of the other games I had. I had Sonic Heroes as a kid, and like Sonic Riders, and like other great titles like Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country. And my ass sat there and chose to play the B-movie game for hours on end. I don't think I'll ever live that down. I'm almost 20, and I don't think I'll live that down. I couldn't have been older than like 11 or 12. At most, when that happened. I still don't feel like I've lived that down. In fact, in a weird way, I kinda want to stream that game at one point. That's not even a bit. I'm kinda curious to see how much I actually remember, because I have like very vivid, tiny memories of that game. Like, I don't remember it in its whole, but the parts I remember with extensive detail. And I'm so curious. I don't know that I can bring myself to sit down and play that game again. I don't think I'm ready to face that part of myself. I feel like, you know, in the Kingdom Hearts games, how there's like, you know, darkness in people's hearts? Yeah, I feel like the darkness in my heart is just fucking the fact that I love the B-movie game as much as I did. I don't know. I feel like if I ever go back and play that game, it's just gonna awake a character arc in me that I'm not ready for. So I'm just leaving that memory buried. Wait! Leaving that memory buried, because the character's name's Barry. Y'all, I'm going through it right now. I can't fucking focus. I did not think this was where. Alright, no worries. I'll definitely check out that clip after stream, I promise. You have my word on that. I will go and check that out. Holy shit, though. Oh, this has made grinding so much easier, though. Just fucking talking about the B-movie game. I feel like I'm sinking a little bit lower into a lava pit every single time I fucking mention the fact that I liked the B-movie game as a kid. Like, one of these days that's going to kill me, and I know that. And I've just come to accept it. I will fall to the hands of Barry B. Benson, and I'm fine with that. It was fated. I'm a persistent motherfucker, but I can't. I can't change that destiny. Just thinking about how weird this might sound to anybody who just randomly drops by for the first time. Like, oh hey, somebody's streaming Pokémon Platinum for the first time. I can't wait to see what they're up to. And they just cut into me talking about how Barry Benson is gonna slaughter me in like 60 years. God. I don't know what vibe I would describe this as. I think it's a good one, though. Thank y'all for being here and persisting through whatever the fuck is happening right now. I cannot tell you how much I value that. That means the world. The fact that I can sit here and talk about my extensive playtime as a kid in the B-movie video game, and people will still fucking stick around for it, is beyond me. I will never understand. Oh my god. Holy fuck. I don't know how to feel. Just going through that entire, like, discussion in retrospect. I really just kind of dropped that, huh? I just opened up that and dropped that there for the world to see. Very fair. Oh, thank you, Rin. Your clips are appreciated. There's something, like, weirdly reaffirming about weird out of context clips like that, because, like, sometimes when I'm streaming, I think, like, oh, my commentary's, you know, not up to par, whatever, herdy-der. But then I'll go back and listen to some of the clips that people make, and I'm like, that's genuinely kind of fucking funny. And that wouldn't exist if I didn't sit there and make that. And I don't know, that's kind of reassuring. So, you know, thank y'all who do clip things and, you know, find bits that you enjoy. It does mean a lot. God, the energy of the stream improved so fucking much from when I started. I felt tired and it was very obvious. Yeah, that is super fair. I think after I get Leo up another level or two, I'm gonna tackle the gym again just to see how that goes. Maybe that, you know what? Maybe that's what this gym is. Maybe that's why I keep failing. I had to have that character arc where I accept my dark past. Maybe that's what's up. Of course, yeah, no, I almost said no worries. I don't think that's the right thing to say there. I just mean it's still appreciated. I'm simply vibing. Look, I'm gonna be real, it's a fucking miracle even one person sat through that. Fucking unbelievable. I gotta see just out of curiosity. I don't even want to pick it up. I just gotta know how much a PS2 copy of the B-movie goes for now. I gotta see. There was a Windows port? Why the fuck is the Xbox 360 version so expensive? Sorry? Okay. I looked it up, and the PlayStation 2 version, you can get it for about $8, sure, whatever. The Xbox 360 version is like $100? What the fuck? Okay, I mean, sure, why not? Wow, this is not a rabbit hole I thought I would go down tonight. I don't even remember how this conversation started. And weirdly, I kind of prefer it that way. I kind of like the idea, but this just kind of spawned. Oh my god, I had a terrible thought, but I'm not gonna articulate. I had an absolutely awful thought related to the plot of the B movie, and I am burying that deep in my soul. And like that one John Mulaney bit that's like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep all my emotions here until I die. Yeah, no, that's how I feel on that one. That one's never coming out. Holy shit. I gotta stop thinking about this fucking movie. It's not good. It's terrible. It's so bad. And I know this, and I get that. And I'm not choosing to think about it. It's much more of like... I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into it. It's too much. The B movie's fucking breaking me on stream. I can't have this happen. I have to keep up my integrity, okay? I'm not ready for this. Anyways, Pokemon, am I right? Fuck. I don't think y'all understand. Me, like, getting off of my chest that I liked the B-movie game to that extent felt like finishing presenting a school project while having social anxiety and, like, finally getting it done, and when you go back to your seat and you sit down, it's finally over. It was that same feeling of catharsis. I have been carrying that thing for fucking eons, and it's gone. I'm free. The guilt on my soul, it has left me. I think we just had a therapy session. I am not even gonna disagree. What do I know? What do I know? The answer's not a lot, but oh my god. Holy fuck. I can't believe that, like, the 3 pieces of, like, visual media I have mentioned today on stream that I can think of have been in this order. Avatar: The Last fucking Airbender, Pokémon the first movie, and the B movie. And out of all 3 of those topics that were brought up, the one that lasted the longest and led to the most communication and arguably the most humor in the stream is the fucking B movie. It's unbelievable. Avatar is, like, renowned for being a piece of art that is unparalleled in its field. And the B movie was just whatever bullshit Jerry Seinfeld could pull out of his ass. With terrible messages geared towards children. And somehow, some way, out of all the things I discussed, that was the one that landed me here, huh? Goddamn. Oh yeah. For context, Rin, I just finished season 2 with Lily, and we watched like 2 episodes of season 3. It fucked me up so bad. I thought Zuko was about to fucking change. I'm not gonna go into spoiler territory here for people who haven't watched it yet, but goddamn, I was so ready. I was so ready for good boy Zuko. I was ready for it because I love Uncle Iroh and I think he deserves better. And now Uncle Iroh is a war criminal, and I just have to live with that. That's a weird line out of context. That's the Avatar experience TM though. No, I totally get you. I don't think I would have stuck with it if not for the fact that I was watching it with Louis. But, like, the ending of Season 2 really ramps up, and it got so goddamn good. I love Season 2. Absolutely wonderful. I liked Season 1, but I felt the same way you did in terms of not having it hit me super hard personally. No, yeah, the ending of Book 2, holy shit. It takes off and it does not stop, and I'm here for it. It's great. And it's absolutely valid if, you know, you end up ever going back to that and don't feel that way. That is very, very understandable. But yeah, no, I'm definitely starting to see it a lot more of what people like about it. And I hear Season 3 is, like, even better? At least that's, like, the general consensus. You know, I can't say for sure. I've only seen like 2 episodes of Season 3, but it's been great so far, I gotta say. I struggle to think anything can outdo what Book 2 did, or Season 2, however you want to classify them. American Dragon Jake Long? I sure did, yeah. Fucking love that show as a kid. That and Lilo and Stitch are like buried in a very specific part of my subconscious for some reason. Like, I just forever associate those 2 shows with one another, and I don't know why. Like, there's a very specific window of my lifetime I just associate with that. He's the voice of Zuko! Oh, fuck, okay. I did not know that. Now that you mention it, though, I can definitely hear it. Yeah, no, that tracks. Huh. The more you know. Thinking about how when I woke up at Lily's place with her this morning, she went downstairs to take her medicine and stuff and passed me a bottle of vitamin gummies and looks me dead in the eyes and goes, "Babe, you have to have at least 2. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, No, the Hot Pockets you eat back at home are not going to give you the sustenance and nutrients you need." And she just looked me dead in the eyes when she said that. There's not a point to this. There's really not. I just kind of think that's funny. That she felt genuine concern for me. Because it's such a well-known fact in our relationship that I fucking love Hot Pockets. And if left to my own devices, would probably eat them until I died. I know, again, that's very out of the blue. Look, I think about Lily a lot. And because of that, sometimes I have random thoughts. Some are more gay than others. Some are just kind of weird. That was one of the more weird ones. There was still some gay subtext there. There always is. Very gay for her. Love her. God, I bet she'd be proud to know her girlfriend's been talking about the B-movie game on stream for like 2 hours. That's an exaggeration, obviously, but God. I feel like I might message her later today and be like, babe, I want you to know I love you as much as I loved the B-movie game on the PlayStation 2, and just wait and let that sit. I don't know what'll come of that. I'm a little curious. Another game, at least, that I want to mention while I'm talking about cursed things I liked as a kid. There's one in particular that I think unironically has aged super fucking well, at least to my memory of it. I had the Barnyard game based on the Barnyard movie, on the Game Boy Advanced, and it was kind of a better Harvest Moon. Like, okay, we all, or at least it's a general consensus and a general opinion, that Stardew Valley kind of takes what made Harvest Moon great and built on top of it to make an even better experience. For some reason, in my brain, that tier list goes from least to best, instead of just going... Yeah, Back at the Barnyard. Back at the Barnyard was a TV show that happened after the movie. A lot of people don't know that. There was a Barnyard movie. I never really watched the show. I grew up with the movie. But, for some reason, how the stepladder for some people goes Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley. Mine goes Harvest Moon, Barnyard GBA, and then Stardew Valley. It's not quite as good as Stardew Valley, not even close. I think Stardew Valley is a wonderful game. I think I might put Barnyard GBA over Friends of Mineral Town. And I know there are people out there with pitchforks waiting to end me for that sentence, and that is perfectly valid. Because Friends of Mineral Town's a good game. But I kind of feel like Barnyard did it better. I don't know why. And that's one I still feel like I could play today and somehow have some fun with. To the extent that my friends know about it, the fact that I enjoyed that game as a kid and think it still holds up today, and I've kind of thought about streaming it at some point, it is legitimately entirely within the range of possibility. Yeah, no, Barnyard GBA fucking slaps. You can quote me on that and have that age like milk. Because it probably doesn't. It's probably not as good as I remember it being. But in my head right now, Barnyard GBA sits at a higher enjoyability than Friends of Mineral Town for me. God, I don't know what the fuck my vibes are tonight. Not good, I think, is the answer that I'm looking for. Yeah, it was just kind of like a open world, like, Western RPG kind of game with mini games, as well as like some elements of like town building, as well as picking crops. It's so weird, and it is so strange, but it's genuinely a kind of fun game. You know what? I think there's worse things you can say than Barnyard on GBA is an enjoyable experience. I'll die on that hill, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I have really opened up the vault of my childhood tonight in terms of like licensed games, because God, I played so many as a kid, and not many of them are super memorable honestly, but those two stick out in my brain. You know, Barnyard GBA and the game that will not be named. Those two. One of them sticks out in a way that makes me very nostalgic. And that's the end of that sentence. I'm not touching on the other one. That is a topic for a point where I am stronger than I am now. I think I've got to do some grinding in real life before I'm ready for that. I'm not ready to talk about how the B-movie video game affected me as an individual. That is a case I'm not ready to open. That is being locked away in my heart. Ooh, I had a Nicktoons Attack of the Toy Bots and I fucking loved it because you could play as XJ9. I had two versions of it. As a kid, I had the PlayStation 2 version, and when I was a bit older, I ended up picking the DS version up for 99 cents at a GameStop. And the DS version kinda sucks, but you can play as Zim in that one, and therefore I like that one a lot. Just by extension, because Invader Zim's good. Or at least I'm very nostalgic for Invader Zim. I don't know how well it actually holds up. I watched it a couple years ago and thought it was nice, but I was also a teenager, so... I mean, I'm still a teenager, I'm 19, but... You get what I mean. I just really like that there's a game where you can have XJ9 and Zim beat the shit out of a bunch of generic enemies together. Kinda here for that. That's another show I've been watching with Lily recently, is My Life as a Teenage Robot, and it's so goddamn good. Okay. Well, that's not fully true. Also, yeah, Invader Zim didn't get a reboot, but it did finally get a proper ending through a Netflix movie. Ooh, Aerial Ace, hell yeah! And Invader Zim was like... I don't know, I liked it, again, but My Life as a Teenage Robot is very weird, because I quite like the episodes that I do like, but it's a series with very high highs and very low lows. Like, I feel like there's some episodes that are objectively way fucking better than other ones, and there's some episodes that are just shit. And I am fully willing to accept and acknowledge that. But there's some things in that show that's genuinely great. And also, I may be a little biased because I just remember for some reason I looked at a 6'6" piece of metal that quote-unquote just wanted to be a regular girl and related very deeply to that as a trans girl. I don't know how intentionally that show was transcoded, but there's a lot of things to it, including like a textbook definition of gender dysphoria that definitely made me feel less alone as a kid. So, I don't know. I still have a soft spot for Ginny, or XJ9. I think her character design is very cute, and I don't know, it was weirdly a comfort character for me as a kid. which I feel is a lot more wholesome and a lot less cursed than everything else I've talked about on stream today. So I think I'm just gonna let that kind of sit for a bit and just enjoy that. Because goddamn. Oh yeah, certainly. Like, there's literally a point where she turns around because the scientist who built her says, "Stay away from my daughter," and like in the middle of a fight she stops and like blushes and she's like, "She called me her daughter," and I'm like, oh, I'm a kid and I don't know why I relate to this. I don't know why I'm as happy for her as I am, but I am. And now in retrospect I totally fucking get it. But god, watching that show, you know, after I cracked that egg, it's a real interesting experience, I will say. Again, the episodes that are great are very good. The episodes that are bad are pretty bad. There's nothing in it that's like terribly offensive or anything. I'm not saying in that regard. I just mean it's... I don't know. Its quality is very all over the place. I also didn't know until I started watching it with Lily recently, but it actually had a made-for-TV or like straight-to-DVD movie. That was fucking great. It was wonderful. And we watched that together, and it was really good. So yeah, that was a neat little thing we did together recently. Whenever Louie and I can't decide what to do, and we just don't feel like doing a whole lot, she just kind of like pulls out her laptop and like pulls up a show, and we just kind of watch it. It's not to say we don't decide on the show together, I just mean, typically how it goes is she'll name like 3 or 4 shows, and for the first 3, I'll be like, nah, I'm not really feeling it. And she'll mention one show, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm willing to check that out. And then we watch like 2 episodes and typically fall in love with it, and watch it all the way through. So I've definitely been watching a lot more TV than I think I normally would. Because watching TV shows is just not something I do in my free time. I listen to streams, and I like listen to podcasts, and I watch YouTube videos in the background. And, you know, in the foreground too, even. But I don't know. I'm not a very TV show person. There's like a couple that catch my eyes and I'll sit down and watch, but outside of that, I don't typically watch a lot of TV. When I want passive entertainment, I typically go to streams. Ah, cool. That is very valid, because, yeah, again, I haven't played much of the Kingdom Hearts games at all yet, and I've mentioned that before, you know that, but, I am definitely going to be playing the Kingdom Hearts games very soon, and I'm quite excited for them to be coming to PC. It is almost Kingdom Hearts o'clock. I still don't like... I don't know if I'm gonna like stream any of the games or not. Because Kingdom Hearts is one of those things that like... I feel like if you stream one of the games, it would be weird not to stream the other ones. Because it's such like a series, you know? But I don't know if I have it in me to stream that many Kingdom Hearts games. So I'm not super sure. No confirmation either way on that yet, but yeah. I'll definitely at least play them. And frankly, I'm pretty excited. Like, okay, I feel like the moment I start playing a Kingdom Hearts game on stream, I stop becoming a variety streamer and start becoming a Kingdom Hearts streamer for the next 3 fucking years of my life, you know what I mean? And I don't think I'm ready for that. One thing I've considered doing is, like, maybe, like, for example, a Kingdom Hearts stream, like a Kingdom Hearts stream series, then another game series that's completely unrelated, then the next game in the series, so on and so forth. I've thought about doing that. I'm not super sure yet. Again, definitely not making any promises, but I have considered it. I think I'm gonna get Leo up one more level, and I think I'm gonna tackle that gym one more time. I'm hoping one more time will be all I have to do. I am getting desperate to beat this gym. I am terrible at it. Oh, that's kind of weird. I didn't know they weren't included, like, at all gameplay-wise. I might play those elsewhere, honestly. That's weird though, but even when, like, game companies do collections of, like, games, sometimes things are left out. Like, video game preservation is so fucking important, and it almost feels like nobody other than the emulation scene cares, and it sucks. Because like you said, some retro games fucking rule, and even the ones that don't are still a part of history. I don't know. That's very fair. Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I wish I didn't, but I certainly do. I don't know how you could disagree with that. That is just blatantly true. A lot of companies do not give a fuck about preservation and only re-release things to make a profit. That is 110% true. And it sucks because I'm one of the people that consider video games to be an art medium. And I feel like there's been a lot of content that's been damn near lost. Klonoa Door to Phantomile being one of them. Again, the only time it was ever re-released in its original state was on the PlayStation 3, and pretty soon that won't be available anymore. At least officially. And that blows. That just straight up sucks. I don't even have any jokes or anything to make about that. That's just legitimately sad and it bums me out. Klonoa Door to Phantomile is a fucking wonderful game. And I think the PS3 version of it is, like, really good. So, you know, I don't know. if any of y'all are watching this before the PS3 store goes down and you've got like $10 or so to spare, I would genuinely recommend, if you have a PS3, picking that up instead. Oh yeah, no, it's bullshit. And the thing is, Mario Galaxy is my favorite Mario game by a long shot, and it is so depressing that one of the first times that a newer generation of people is going to be able to experience it is just being wiped clean. It is so scummy and so sad. And the fact that Skyward Sword HD is just an HD upgrade and it's going to be $60 with no other games in it is baffling to me. It's so weird. Like, okay, I feel like they should at least give it the 3D All-Stars treatment because it's just a Wii game, and Galaxy was a Wii game. So I feel like, at worst, if you're going to charge $60 for it and be terrible like that, at least include one of the N64 and GameCube games with it. Like, for example, if it was Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Skyward Sword, then maybe that'd be worth $60. No matter how good Skyward Sword is, $60 is absurd for it. Oh yeah, no, the PC fan port of Mario 64 is significantly better. Certainly. Not 3D World, excuse me, 3D All-Stars was so weirdly inconsistent. Like, I don't know if they gave a fuck or if they didn't. Because there were so many weird aspects that were just completely overlooked, but others that were tended to very carefully. It's so weird. I don't know. Again, I'm not a Nintendo fan in the sense of Nintendo as a company. I do like some of the people they employ, and I think that they make some good games at points. But as a company, I fucking hate Nintendo, yeah. So that is what it is. Hello, Bidoof. Ooh, I'm not super familiar with the Silent Hill games because I haven't played them myself solely because I'm terrified of horror games. But yeah, I've heard a little bit about that, I think, in terms of the remasters not being great. That sucks though. As a Klonoa fan, my heart hurts for you because goddamn, I genuinely feel like the Wii remake of Klonoa was so fucking bad. It's not terrible, it's serviceable, but it does nothing to preserve any of the charm of the original game. Door to Phantom Isle is good, and like I said a million times before this stream, one of the last ways to experience that, you know, officially now is about to be wiped clean with the PS3 store going down. So that kind of sucks. That sounds good, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, y'all. My housemate Adam came in and he realized I was streaming, and he was so sweet. Instead of just like asking me, he pulled out a sticky note and a pen, and he wrote down on a sticky note, "Hey, we're getting Mexican food. If you want anything, I'll come back in a minute with my phone and you can order some," and drew a little smiley face. And that made my fucking night. Oh my god. Sorry, I know that's completely disconnected from the conversation we were just having. I just thought that was really fucking sweet. I love my housemates. And I feel so fucking lucky. Really do. Oh, also I didn't realize Leo's 29, or level 29. I think we're ready to try this gym again, hopefully. I hope I win this because my throat's kind of hurting and I do kind of want to take a break. And by take a break, I mean call the stream. I know it's a bit early. I've only been streaming for like 2.5 hours. But, like, again, my social anxiety for most of today has been fucking with me. And although I'm having a much better time now, I just need some rest. So I'm probably gonna give this gym one more shot. Well, no, I don't want to end the stream genuinely until I beat the game. Not, no, whoa. Let me rephrase. Not beat the game, beat the gym. Those are vastly different statements. Holy fuck me. I know I have my bike, but I just kind of want to run around and listen to this theme music for a bit. Not theme music, city theme. Fuck, words. Hello, Neo CC Rega again. Are you ready to throw hands? And by that I mean sweep me with your second Pokemon, because Jesus, lady, what the fuck? Fantina, you're great, and I love your design, and as a character I think you're very cool. You're terrifying, though. And that Pokemon's cool as fuck, but, Hey bud, how you doing? Oh hell yeah, she wasted one of her super potions on a weak Pokemon. We might do this time. Thank you. Alright, sorry, y'all, give me just a moment here. Tacos? You good? Yeah, you broke your silence. Oh. Damn. What is the difference between cheese quesadilla and cheese quesadilla 2? Oh, that's how many. Okay.
Quantity.
I thought they were just fucking announcing and shadow dropping cheese quesadilla 2, and I wasn't ready. It should be good. Okay, that should be good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully with this newfound energy, I can beat this fucking Pokemon that's been sweeping my team for 3 streams in a row.
You stay.
Alright, cool. Thanks, bud. Alright, now I'm going to switch over to Yusei Fudo. Because I know he can take 2 hits. And I need to heal. I feel very lucky that this Pokemon has yet to use Confuse Ray. In fact, I find that a little shocking, but I'm okay with it. Oh, son of a bitch. I had to say something. Oh, I'm really glad this Pokemon didn't use this move. That would surely screw me over. And then she did. Oh my god. Wait. No! Damn it. Okay. Should have known better when to get that excited. Oh, come on. Come on, Layla. I believe in you. And by extension, me? I think? I think that's how that works. Come on, please. Damn it. Don't fucking do this to me. It's really mean. Please don't miss. Please don't miss. I mean, hit yourself. Do not. Okay. Oh my god, y'all. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. I think this is the one. I think this is the run. Oh. All the toiling. All the pain. It's led me to this moment. I'm telling you, it was the B-movie video game character arc. That's what was holding me back. It was my guilt. It was my shame. All I had to do was let that go. Become a better person because of it. Oh, finally. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. That's what my team needed. It turns out it wasn't just Layla the Pokemon that was confused. It was Layla the trainer that was confused. I didn't know how to feel. Now that I've accepted my past and moved on. Ready to take on the world. Surfboard do be sleeping though. Alright, Leo, I believe in you, bud. Alright, let's start with double team. I don't like that Haunter also knows Confuse Ray. That's kind of terrifying. Come on, Leo. No, buddy. That is not the play. Well, I guess you can't be confused if you're asleep, so that's kind of good, I guess. Damn, this Haunter, though. I absolutely refuse to lose here, though. That is not happening. That Pokemon was way too much of a roadblock for us to lose here. Oh, I know things look bad. I know things look bad, but... I didn't mean to do that. That is a very meme move of, oh, I know things look bad, it panics and dumps a super potion on a Pokemon laying on the floor if it's already fainted. Leo is confused and asleep, poor guy. Ooh, that is some good fucking damage. Never give up, never surrender. You're right. You're right, and you should say it. Thank you, cool lady. Who is cool and good. Hell yeah, Leo. Fuck yeah. Oh my god. Y'all, we're done. We beat the gym. Finally. Fucking free. Oh, this badge is gonna feel fucking great. Thank you so much, Fantina. Let's go, Grape Fanta. Now I just really want to see a bottle of Grape Fanta just in her dress. I will say, I haven't had soda in years because, you know, I don't really drink caffeine or anything. I do miss Grape Fanta, I'm gonna be fucking real. I think about it sometimes, not super often. God, I miss it. Oh. Oh, fucking victory. Take me to that Pokemon Center, please. Oh. Alright, gonna go ahead and heal up. And then save. Alright. While this save is happening, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this opportunity to wrap things up with a couple of quick reminders. That being, first of all, thank you all for being here and stuff. I genuinely appreciate it. I know the stream started off rough and got real weird near the middle, but you know, we made some progress today, and that's saying something. Today's been hard, so you know, any progress is good. Outside of that, you can find me on Twitter or YouTube for the archives, and also my Ko-Fi page if you ever want to diffuse financially. Again, that's never necessary, never required, never want people to feel that it is, but it is a way to directly help me out if you want to. But you know, things like sharing and, you know, telling your friends and stuff is just as fucking valuable. So, you know, never feel any need or pressure to do that. You're appreciated just for being here. But yeah, the stream was really fun. I genuinely enjoyed it. Glad that we got that gym done. And I'm gonna celebrate by having some food and getting some maybe not well deserved, but definitely much needed rest. Y'all have a